Do you want to hold these for a second? Is that good for you to see?
That's good, yeah. That's perfect. What's up, guys? Salud. Give it a few more minutes.
You need to crack some jokes. This is like the pre-show.
Crack some jokes?
Yeah.
Not funny.
What about some hot takes?
Hot takes on pasta. Don't overcook it. Salt your pasta water. Listen to my podcast. Hey, Joanna. Yeah, dog. Freaking Rob's crazy. What else? Listen to the podcast. Definitely make this today. It's important. If you want to come to the Bostonian event, if you don't, then obviously you don't fucking do it. It's up to you. Oh, you got 2 followers on Facebook.
Nice. Maybe
It's growing.
No.
It's great. Hey, Bree. Hi, Liz. 10.
Hot takes are like controversial opinions.
I'm like really bald. You noticed in the pictures, and it's really bad.
You just now realizing?
Yeah, I walked by White Wolf cameras the other day, and like my hair was growing a little bit, and I saw the patch. I'm like, Rod, you didn't tell me this. How do you not tell me this? All right, we're gonna get started because if anybody else joins in after, that's their problem. We are definitely coming to Bostonian Family Holiday Dinner. Awesome, I love that. Let's do it. All right, let's get started. So, a lot of moving parts, but we're gonna kind of do it slowly and in steps. First things first is you want to make sure your pasta water is boiling, all right? Always season your pasta water after it starts to boil. So we're gonna make sure that it tastes like the sea. That's the most important thing, right? And then the next thing, guys, is because I'm using fresh pasta, I'm still gonna boil my pasta because I want to show you guys how to do it. But the most important thing is you have to develop an ice bath, right? So ice and water, that's it. Nothing else. We're gonna cook the pasta and then we're gonna blanch in here to stop the cooking process, all right? Because you're using dry pasta, it's easier to do, all right? Fresh pasta is gonna be very fast for me, so I'm gonna kind of move a little bit faster. For you guys, I'm guessing it's probably gonna take 8 to 9 minutes. So if your pasta water is boiling right now and you seasoned it, now's the time to throw in your pasta, okay? Get the pasta in, set a timer 8 to 9 minutes. As soon as it's done, go right into an ice bath. What do you need on that? No,
You don't know, it was a joke.
Oh, yeah.
But like you can if you want.
Okay, not right now. Okay, hurt. Let me get in the groove. I got it. All right, so pasta water boiling, shells go in, 8 to 9 minutes later, comes out, shock it in your ice water, and then let it sit aside for a little bit, all right? So now's the time to do that. So get that pasta water, get it in, let's start. Look at Sue, man. Get some Sue, get back to work, bro. Get back to work, my man. All right, guys. Now, while we're doing that, we're gonna make something called Bechamel. All right, a couple things. Bechamel's French. I don't like the French, we know this. But we're gonna need this sauce because it's definitely gonna help brighten this dish up, okay? So let's do it real quick. So first things first, you're gonna need a whisk, you need a pan, and obviously you guys have a stovetop and I don't, so we're gonna go medium heat. We don't need it to be too hot, okay? So we're gonna make a roux, okay? So a roux is equal parts fat and flour. We're gonna use butter. We'll do about 1.5 tablespoons on this guy. All right.
Ash said that she wants to get back to work too.
Ashley, have the baby first, all right? Stop breaking my chops, okay, please? All right. You're gonna melt your butter. As you're melting your butter, right, you're gonna add in equal parts. So we did 1.5 tablespoons. So we're gonna do 1.5 tablespoons of flour, okay? So now you don't need your flour anymore, just put your flour away. All right? So now, most important part of this is you need to emulsify it, okay? So you gotta get the butter all melted and you gotta mix it in with the flour, right? So move it around. Help break it up a little bit. And we're gonna go a little slower than normal. And I apologize that I always go a little bit fast. We're going a little slower than normal because I really want these pictures this time. Because I really want to invite one of you guys to the preview dinner. It's going to be a lot of fun. And also, Bastone, as of right now, we're aiming to open sometime in December. We're going to have a really big invite-only party on New Year's Eve. And we'll let you guys know about that too. So keep tuning into these lives and tell us that you want to come to the party. And maybe Amelia will pick you. So we can put the blame on her if you don't get picked, okay? It's not my fault. I want to invite everybody. All right, so now, see what's happening here? You're starting to kind of toast your flour a little bit, and you're just getting a really good emulsification, okay? Now, as that's going, you're gonna grab your milk, okay? So here's your milk. So normally, guys, what I would do is, I don't have enough space, right? But normally I would have this milk getting hot, right? So I'm gonna add a little bit of milk at a time, probably about 4 to 6 ounces, right?
Your
And
sister said poor Amelia.
Who said that? My sister?
Yeah.
Adriana, take it easy, all right, please. All right, whisk this guy together. So now, if it was hot, what would happen is this would instantly get thick, okay? Because now we have cold milk and we're adding to it, we need it to get hot. So now I'm gonna turn the heat up a little bit, all right? Just to kind of speed the process up a little bit. So a normal bechamel, guys, is flour, butter, milk, and then they do nutmeg. I don't need the nutmeg in this, so I'm gonna omit the nutmeg from here because I don't want my shells to taste like nutmeg, so we're gonna omit it, all right? So get this all nice and whisked together. And you can already see again thick, all right? Make sure you get your sides. You don't want all that, you don't want that to burn. And you can see again thicker, and then all of a sudden it's gonna get really, really tight, all right? Because we put very little milk in there to start. So now's a good time to definitely add some more. We're gonna do this in stages so that we can build a really nice bechamel sauce. So we'll do the same thing, probably another 4 to 6 ounces in there. And same thing, start to whisk it in. Make sure the edges don't burn. Thank God my Russian friend's not here talking shit right now.
Ashley and your sister said hashtag Team Amelia.
Hashtag what?
Team Amelia.
Oh my God, take it easy. All right, nice whisking here. Get that going, all right? So now, while this is happening, your pasta should be cooking, right? It's gonna be 8 to 9 minutes. You should have set a timer. You should be getting ready. So as this guy is whisking here, we're gonna do something else. We're gonna get the next part ready, right? Again, this is not something that's normal. We're gonna do it our way because we always like to do it our way and we try to fuck everything up. So medium heat again, all right? We're gonna take a little bit of olive oil. All right. We're gonna take 1 basil leaf. We're gonna give it a light tear. I'm gonna throw it right in the oil because what we're doing right now is we're flavoring the oil, right? So right now you have 3 things going at once, and I know it's a lot, but we're gonna do it together and we're gonna do it slow. So this, we're gonna build our Pomodoro sauce. This, we're making our bechamel, the French sauce, and we try not to omit that, all right? And then you're cooking your pasta. I'm gonna cook my pasta in a couple minutes, just because mine's gonna be a little bit faster than yours, and I don't wanna sit here and get ahead of the game. So keep whisking. Now the thing is this is gonna start getting a little bit tighter as we're going. I'm not gonna go much more than this because I don't need much more than this. Blake set us up today and gave us a fuck ton of milk, and we don't need all that milk, right? So now that we're done with the milk, we're gonna put that aside. All right.
Chef Eats says, wonder where I can get that Bastone swag Pat's got on. Hashtag
Who
shirt.
wants this?
Chef Eats ATL.
Don't worry, man. I'll take care of you with this. I got a bunch coming, and I got one with your name on it. All right, now we're gonna turn down our heat on this guy because we don't need to keep boiling it, right? And you can already see it's thick, right? Now's the time to season. So we're gonna hit this with a little bit of salt, not a ton, because we're gonna season everything else, and we don't want to over season. You can always add, you can't take away. All right. Keep whisking it. Make sure you don't scorch the bottom. If you scorch the bottom, you gotta start all over again. Then we're gonna turn down that heat even more, all right? Just like that. You basically just want this to cook a little bit. Well, now what you're doing is you're cooking the flour out of it, right? You wanna cook that flour taste out. It shouldn't be too drastic in the beginning, but you definitely wanna make sure you have no flour taste at all. Now that my oil is hot and my basil is frying, we're gonna hit it with Pomodoro, okay? So we have our Pomodoro, guys. If you guys have watched this before, I do a little bit of garlic and some tomatoes. I keep it super simple. I try not to overdo it. And then you throw your Pomodoro in. That's basically all we're gonna need. And then same thing, guys, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't season the crap out of my Pomodoro when I do it, but we're gonna season it right now. All right? So as this is working, right, we wanna make sure that the heat is on medium, because now all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to reduce this. I'm trying to make a concentrated tomato flavor, okay? So to do that, you have to cook it out. So you could also, if you wanted to, start the process with tomato paste, add a little bit of water to it, and then add like a little nub of butter. You could have done that. But I'm gonna do it the right way, and I'm gonna do it this way, and I'm gonna do it with Pomodoro sauce, all right? So nice and slow, try not to overdo it. Now's the perfect time to take a nice tablespoon of butter, all right? We're gonna add that right into the Pomodoro. And you're gonna let all that do its thing, all right? Now you have your really thick bechamel. So I can show you guys right now, if you let that right there come out and put that in the fridge, this is what your bechamel will look like tomorrow, okay? And you can easily just put this in a pan, low and slow, and warm that back up, and it's gonna come back to look like this, okay? So bechamel, we're gonna taste it, because I haven't eaten yet today, and we're gonna taste every part of this. All right, good, needs a little bit more salt. All right, a little bit more, just like that. And now you're gonna turn this off. That's done, all right, bechamel's done. You see your Pomodoro's working. All right. We're gonna even slow this down a little bit more, because again, we're gonna have other things to do, and I want to make sure that we're not over reducing. All right. So we'll leave that alone. This is done. Your pasta's cooking. You have your ice bath. Everything's working together at once, right? Now we're gonna move over here. Now, if you should probably have about 3 minutes left on your pasta. So as you're doing that, this is how we do it in the restaurant, this is how we do it at home, this is how I do it everywhere. You multitask, you gotta do other things at the same time, right? Because if I sat here and waited for that to cook, right, I wouldn't be moving a little bit faster, because I try to do these in 30-minute meals. There's always time for a glass of wine, for sure, so salud. Now we're gonna take our ricotta cheese, okay? So let's have a couple of conversations about this. It's not ricotta, it is ricotta, okay? It means recooked or double cooked, okay? So we're gonna take some ricotta, throw it right in. I'm gonna make a little extra because this is actually going on the menu here, so I wanna get them a little head start. So we're gonna start with ricotta. And again, guys, I don't know where you guys shop, but where I shop, my ricotta doesn't come seasoned, so we're gonna put a little bit of salt. All right, I love the taste and the flavor of extra virgin olive oil in my ricotta, so I put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in there, probably about a tablespoon, right? Then I take a nice tablespoon of Parmesan cheese, I add that in there. And then my two favorite parts, all right? Because I'm from Napoli and I'm from the Campania region, there's a couple things that grow there basically fucking wild, and you always gotta put it in everything. One, basil, all right? So roll, make a nice chiffonade, it's called. Same thing like I taught you guys before. It's a back slice, okay? It's a scissor cut. If I sat here and I push down, all the oils from the basil are gonna come out, and it's gonna end up on my cutting board instead of in the basil itself, because I want all that. Now, if you look really close, really close here, you can kind of see the oils in the leaves there, and it's still in the leaf, it's not on my cutting board. That's the most important part, all right? Again, pull back.
Will there be cheese classes at Bastone? Mozzarella ricotta would love that.
Yes, there will be all cheese classes there, as well as pasta making classes, because Bastone is gonna have 10 pastas on the menu that change often. So it's gonna be a very intense pasta program there.
Wine recommendation for stuffed shells.
Say again?
Wine recommendation.
So guys, I like, when I do stuff like this, we have a cream sauce, right? That's our base. So I'm gonna stick to white. You also don't have to. So we're drinking Greco di Tufo. Greco di Tufo is one of my favorite grapes. I would also go Falanghina with this. Guys, this dish is from Campania, it's from the south. We're gonna drink wine from the south, right? You could go Alianico with this. You can go Nero Diablo. You can go Frappato. There's so much you can do. I'm a firm believer in what grows together goes together. So since this is from Naples, you wanna stick to where this is coming from, all right? So that's how I normally dedicate how I pick my wine. I try not to overcomplicate it, because I stick to that game plan, guys. Like if it's made there, you drink that. I mean, that's just how I do it. so that's continuing to reduce. You could already see the colors change and it's doing its thing. Again, I haven't eaten yet today, so I'm gonna taste everything. A little bit more salt in there because I needed it. Now, again, from Naples, lemons, right? Basically grow fucking wild there. We're gonna put a little lemon in here. A couple reasons why. We have a cream sauce. I want to cut through that. I have enough acid coming out of tomato, but the tomato is going to have very little to do with the dish. It's going to be more bechamel. So we're going to add a little bit more of that acid, all right? So we're just doing the zest, guys. We're not adding a lot. It's just a little bit to kind of really wake up the ricotta. You know, I mean, unless you really flavor ricotta, it's got a certain flavor profile to it, but normally the ricotta is meant to be flavored, right? So we have that, right? Take your spoon, mix it around a little bit.
Chef Eats said, we'll never show you my chiffonade. You'd give me that disappointed pat look.
Yeah, I'm getting really good at that disappointed pat look. I feel like I've really mastered it over the years. But yeah, I remember your chiffonade for sure. All right, give this a little taste, right? Make sure you get a little piece of that basil in there. A little more salt. And I really like the olive oil flavor, so I'm gonna put a little more. It's probably another tablespoon in there. Parmesan cheese is perfect. I can taste the lemon, I can taste the basil. Perfect. All right, your pasta should be done. Your pasta should have came out, it's sitting in your ice water, okay? It's seasoned, it tastes fucking fantastic. It's sitting in your ice water, it's sitting on the side, okay? Your bechamel is done. We don't need to do anything else there. Your pomodoro is reducing, all right? Because this is what this is called. This is called reduction, okay? We're basically trying to cook all the water out of the tomato and just leave the tomato flavor, and that's it. It's gonna have a really intense tomato flavor, and you'll see what we're gonna do with it after. It's gonna really brighten up this dish. So that's doing its thing. I'm gonna lower that a little bit more, all right? That's being lowered. Bechamel is working. Your pasta's cooked, and we made our stuffing, okay? Now, if you guys saw what I did there, I said that, hello chef, sorry, I'm late, never missed any live. It's okay, Sylvia, I understand. You worked late today. We had the issue with the machine, I understand.
Eddie Hurley said, what are we making? Came in kind of late.
Came in kind of late. Dude, we're doing stuffed shells, bro. You should know this stuff, all right? So, you don't need to put this in a piping bag. Again, guys, this is gonna make it easier. You're working in a restaurant to do it. I'm gonna put it in a piping bag. It's gonna make life a lot easier for me when we're filling our shells, okay? But you could easily use a spoon. Again, that's why I put optional on there. It's one of those things where you definitely don't need to do it. So get your ricotta in your piping bag. All right, it's all in there. Normally, guys, I would scrape this out all the way, but Amelia's got two hands being used right now. She can't really help, okay? So that's gonna go over there. And you got your ricotta in your piping bag. Now, get your piping bag down, take the back end of your knife, scrape all of that, because you don't want to miss out on any of that. All this stuff costs money, and we want to make sure we use it all, right? So now, two ways of tying a piping bag. One, take your knife, slit it all the way up, and then use that and give it a tie. Two, the option I like, right, is you can use a little piece of string, just like this. Give it a tie. So I do a double loop and swoop, so 1, 2, and that's probably basically enough, but then I go back over and I do the same thing, 1, 2, and I go really, really tight with it, all right? Then, because our shells have a small mouth, it's not a huge mouth, right? And after we cook them, they kind of close up a little bit on us. We're not gonna do a huge hole here. We're gonna do just like that, all right? Enough so that when you're piping, that's the hole you're looking for, okay? Make sure, most important thing is take this little piece of plastic when you're done throwing the garbage, because if it ends up in your pasta, don't blame me, all right? Now, because you guys are ahead of the game, because you already cooked your pasta, I'm gonna cook mine now, all right? I'm not gonna cook as much just because I already have some basically made, but I wanna show you guys what we're gonna do. So, throw in your shells, right? Just like that. Again, I'm not gonna cook the full pound like you guys did, because I already have some done, and I want to show you guys basically the thought process on this. Now, come back, check on your pomodoro. You can see it's getting really thick. And I lowered the heat so you don't got to worry about this burning. All right. Move it around a little bit. Now, we're gonna give this a taste to see if we need to add a little more salt, which I don't think we do because we added twice. Salt's good. Now, a little bit of olive oil. It's gonna really brighten that up. Now, we flavored the oil earlier with the basil. Now we're gonna add fresh basil on it to really intensify this Pomodoro flavor, okay? Again, we're gonna tear it up. You could easily chiffonade this if you want, but I'm not gonna do that. And then I'm gonna turn this off. All right, that's reduced enough. You can see that it's pulling away. See, it's pulling away from the pan, right? See how it pulls away? And it's not leaving water. Mix that olive oil into it, just like that. And you're done. Let it sit, okay? Now we're gonna check on the pasta. Pasta, again, guys, mine's gonna cook faster because it's fresh, all right? So mine's done. Now, because we don't have a spider here, because my staff is basically an entire wrecking machine and they break everything. Our spider broke yesterday. Our spider is basically a bigger guy, one of these guys, and it can easily pull out all of this at once. But I'm gonna have to sit here like a real schmuck and pull these out one at a time, all right? You could blame my sous chefs for that. Blake Jones, Rod, and Mr. Alex Ritchie, they're all downstairs. They allowed this shit to happen on their watch, so we're gonna blame them. All right. Now, get all this pasta out. Again, make sure all your pasta is submerged in ice bath, because the whole point, guys, you want to stop the cooking process, right? You don't want to overcook this. You overcook this, plus then you're gonna bake this, right? The last thing you want to do is sit here and overcook your pasta and end up with this mushy disaster, and then later you're gonna blame me, and it's not my fault. All right. So now, pasta's cooked. We have to assemble all this, all right? Again, I have extra. If you want some for the house, come by and I'll get you some, all right? Turn this off. Everything should be off at this point. We're not cooking anything else, right? We're done. Now what you need to do is go to your stove or go to your oven, turn it to 400 degrees right now, all right? As you do that, I'm gonna take a sip of wine because it's time. I would never say you're all schmucks at home, Bree. I'm just saying these guys break a lot of shit here, and I don't want them to continue to break shit, you know? All right, now, as the pasta is doing its thing, right? It's chilling, because we're stopping the cooking process. You have your bechamel, you have your pomodoro. We're gonna do this all together right now, okay? So now, first things first. Get rid of your whisk. Take your bechamel, give it a nice stir, and then you basically. So I'm gonna do it in one of these guys. You guys are doing a pound of pasta. So what I would personally do to bake it in is, if you guys have a large lasagna tray or anything of that nature, you're gonna want to put all this on the, or not all of it, but half of it on the bottom. Okay. Then you're gonna take your shells, and you're gonna take your filling. Okay, you're gonna pipe your filling into the shell, just like that, all right? Then you're gonna build a nice home for them, right? And you're gonna get it all nice and nestled in there, right? Next one, same exact thing, pipe it, all right? Got that nice basil in there, same thing, nestle it in there nice. Don't worry about overcrowding these guys. It's not gonna do anything bad to it. Don't worry about it at all. All right, get your ricotta in there, nice. Ricotta, not ricotta, okay? For my Italian friends that get instantly aggravated when people say things incorrectly, I'm trying to help you guys out, okay? Oh, Sante. All right, fill, like that. Fill this guy up. So we're gonna do this one at a time, just like that. Again, guys, if you don't have a piping bag, it's fine, right? So we could do this. You don't have a piping bag, get one of these guys that's not closing up on me. All right, get all your water out, get it a little dry. Take your spoon, put it right on here like that. And then the same, guys, same idea. You're basically just putting it in there and then you're shoving it in like that. All right, same idea. Hi, Blake. It's good. Yeah, perfect. All right, fill this guy up just like this. All right. We're gonna do one more. Then we're gonna give this to Blake to go cook. All right, Blake, don't go anywhere. All right, one more just like that. All right, so now this guy's full. Again, you guys may have something bigger that you're using at home, so obviously I'm not gonna do it exactly that way. So now, this guy needs a little bit of a bath on top, right? Because right now, if you do this in your oven, it's gonna burn. So this is what the bechamel comes in handy for. Really pour that over the top, guys. Like, don't be afraid by any means. You're not gonna overdo this. If you have a milk or cream sensitivity, probably not the dish for you to begin with. But just giving you a heads up, this is how it's supposed to look. Now, you preheated your oven. Your oven's sitting at 400 degrees, right? You filled all your shells. We're gonna go slow, guys, because this is gonna be the magic of television, all right? Now this gets handed, or this is gonna go in the oven, but it's actually gonna go to Blake, and Blake's gonna bake this in our oven right now, right? Thanks, Blake.
Absolutely.
Now, let's say, again, we have the magic of television, and this is our plate, okay? I'm gonna go to the magic of television right now, and I'm gonna grab that pasta that we already did, that creates that big, beautiful shine on top, just like that, because we baked it nice and slow, right? And now we're gonna finish this, okay? A couple of things we're gonna do. First things first, we made that Pomodoro, okay? Again, I don't want this to be Pomodoro heavy, I want it to be bechamel heavy, right? Because I want this all, see, you see like it's already coming out, it's got that nice crispiness to it, you can hear it as I'm pushing down. That's what you're looking for, right? Now, the Pomodoro is just to add an accent to it. So we're gonna do a couple dollops of Pomodoro just like this. All right, this is gonna add to the dish. It's not gonna change the flavor. We could have easily, guys, have omitted the bechamel and done all Pomodoro, but I feel like every single person and their mother does that exactly the same way. I know my mom does it that way, so I'm gonna change it up a little bit, right? A little bit of Pomodoro on top. Then we're gonna finish this. All right. Pomodoro is so good. We're gonna finish it. Olive oil. Don't be shy. Get it on there, right? Because as you guys are cooking this, you're gonna see bechamel is gonna spread out, right? And then your pasta shells are gonna get a little crunchy, right? So now we're gonna rehydrate all this basically. Then we're gonna come over here. We're gonna get some nice basil leaves. We're gonna do two nice basil leaves. Give them a nice shred, right? Just like that. And then the finishing touch, okay? Let me show you guys a little trick here. Parmesan cheese. Now, if you have a cheese grater at home and you're doing it that way, that's great. But we have grated Parmesan cheese, right? So now when you're putting Parmesan cheese on it and you go like this, you're hitting one spot. The idea is don't be afraid to make a mess. Really get it on there and make that shit sexy, right? Make it rain. And like, just look at the difference of how that looks. Right? It's incredible. It's got crunchiness to it. The bechamel nice and toasted. The ricotta, amazing. Just like that. Now, Blake's making a second one. You guys are gonna take about 15 minutes in that oven, right? About 15 minutes comes out, 400 degrees. It's gonna get nice and sexy on top. You're gonna take your Pomodoro, you're gonna put a couple dollops on there, right? As soon as that comes out, hit it with some extra virgin olive oil, because more extra virgin olive oil, the better for me. Nice basil leaves, lots of parm, and you're done. Took exactly 30 minutes at the most, and we did all that. Of course, it may take you guys a little bit longer because you haven't done this before. All right? Now, the Mr. Siciliano sprinkle is awful, right? The Mr. Siciliano sprinkle, and I hope he's watching, is he hits everything but the pasta, right? So, guys, Mr. Siciliano, Pat Siciliano is a chef at White Boy. He used to be my pizza guy at one of my restaurants. So let's say this was the pizza board. He used to hit everything but the pizza, all right? So I remember breaking down one time, I sat there on a day and I went over how much he actually cost me in Parmesan cheese a year, and it was fucking disturbing. Every point after that, I had not allowed him to work Pizza Station anywhere else. He's incredibly sad about it, but he'll be okay. Sue, my man. Dude, what's up, dude? You hit everything but the fucking dish. What's up? All right, so that's your finished product, guys. So now, this is the thing. If it doesn't look like this, it's fine. If you cooked it in a hotel pan or something like that, that's fine. Scoop a little bit out. Put it on a plate. Hit it with everything like we just talked about. Take a picture of it, post it, tag me. All right? Then, whichever one looks the best, you get the invite to the Bastonia. If it looks like crap, I'm still probably gonna love it because you tried. But in the same instance, try your best, make it. And if anything, guys, and if you need to ask some questions, now's the time to do it. If there's anything, oh my God, I put on a show for my guests. This kid's out of his mind. If you need anything at all, questions right now about anything we just did, ask, all right? Because now's the time to ask. If there's something you missed, if there's something I went too fast on, ask right now. But that's what it should look like when it's done. And again, I haven't eaten yet today, so I'm a little hungry. So I'm gonna get in here, because I feel like I have to, right? Normally, when nobody's watching, I'd probably get an entire shell at once, but I'm not gonna do that, right? Because you guys are watching at home. But let's see. I'd smell everything first. I don't know why, I'm just fucking weird. And it's probably gonna destroy my mouth. I do not add eggs to the mix. It doesn't need it, all right? What I did was ricotta, basil, lemon zest, Parmesan cheese, salt, and extra virgin olive oil. Does not need eggs. What's gonna happen if you put eggs in there is all of a sudden it's gonna congeal really quickly, right? The eggs, what they do is they start to cook and they create basically a custard. And it's gonna really, really congeal really fast. And you don't need that, right? Because you want this to be, you wanna get in here and get all that. Like that crustiness is what you're looking for. That cheese melting just like that. Like, I mean, look at how that looks. I mean, that looks incredible. Get in there and, eat. Fucking starve.
Bree said, what's next week's dish?
All right, next week's dish. I have no idea. We wing it every week, right? So normally what happens is Amelia breaks my chops all week long, come up with something to make. And then normally I don't get really, really motivated to do this until Monday. And then Tuesday we post it because, again, as much as I love to do this, I'm also running 2 restaurants and trying to open a 3rd. So sometimes, I get lost in the mix of it. But next week's gonna be something I feel like that's gonna be fun. That's probably gonna be something that's gonna be a little bit different. Because I want you guys to, go outside your boundaries. Yes, Italian food is fun, and I love doing this. And yes, pasta's fun, I love doing it. But we should probably do a meat dish, maybe a fish dish. We haven't done a fish dish in a while. Maybe something with veggies. I mean, we haven't done an actual veggie dish in a while. And if you guys know anything about me, I love my vegetables. I'm actually classically trained, obviously an Italian chef, but I'm also absolutely love cooking seafood. Seafood's like my passion more than anything else. So kind of mixing the two together are really gonna make it work.
How about a porchetta?
How about a porchetta? Yes, we could do it. Problem with porchetta, guys, it takes a really long time. So I mean, if you guys wanna hang out with me for 3 hours, we can make that happen. But I could definitely show you how to do it and then get in the oven. Again, guys, it's one of those things where you're gonna need to purchase a whole pork loin, a pork belly. I mean, we could do an entire piglet if you want, but I'm probably pretty sure half of the people are gonna be upset about it. This fucking guy, red onion risotto. So let's talk about Soup Pat's red onion risotto, okay? So my cousin, that guy, for a very long time, I keep telling him he needs to be a little more creative and come up with some dishes, right? So Chef Pat from White Bull, at the ripe age of about 18, comes up with a dish called red onion risotto, okay? He still has not made it for me to taste it, but hopefully one day he will. But he probably won't get it on the menu because I'm just weird like that and I don't want that kind of shit on my menu. So now Blake is back with the dish that we made, all right? Put it right on there, sir. Again, look at how great that looks, right? We put a little bit more bechamel than Mr. Blake did, but that's okay. And then we can finish it again, right? So now, I had a little bit of Pomodoro already done from earlier, that we used earlier. All right, same thing, guys, some dollops there.
Carmen said broccoli ramen sausage.
We could do broccoli ramen sausage with pasta or no pasta?
Someone said what temp?
400? On this? 400, guys, in the oven. Same thing, guys, Pomodoro. Really get that sexy with the olive oil, right? few of these beautiful basil leaves that Mr. Blake picked also nicely for us. All right, and then again, guys, the higher the better on the parm. Really get that sexy. Just like that. So now we got 2 of them. So basically, that's basically what you guys made at home. Pound of pasta, you know, the ricotta, the bechamel, and everything like that. And that's exactly what it should look like. All right, I'm gonna taste this one too because again, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet today. And this one, because it's fresher, and it wasn't sitting around for the magic of television, seems like it deserves me to eat it, you know? God, this is gonna have to be a one-biter.
That's gonna be really hot.
I don't know if I could do this.
You're gonna burn your mouth.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do this, guys. It's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna burn the crap out of my mouth. I can't.
Just wait.
I can't do it. I'm gonna burn my mouth.
You need to answer some more comments.
All right. How about the meat lovers out there? Dad having me so show. So this is how I feel, Adriana, about that, right? Is the fact that you know that our mother knows how to cook very well. And she probably doesn't need my help to help her make a meat lovers thing. But if she does, tell Mom to call me and I'll give her some recipes, all right? Dave, dude, fish and papillotes, we could do that, man. That's fine. That would be fun. We could do fish and papillotes. Don't do it. I love it. So, guys, we could do bacala if you want. I mean, we're getting close to there. I mean, it's going to be a couple months before bacala comes in season. But we could definitely do something fun with bacala.
Are you anti-cheese with seafood?
What is it?
Are you anti-cheese with seafood?
So, all right. So, I am not anti-cheese with seafood. I'm anti-cheese with a couple things, all right? So let's say you're making linguine with clams. I'm anti-cheese. Cheese doesn't deserve to be on the clams, right? But let's say you're making tuna tartare and you want to serve it with a piece of mozzarella. I'm excited about that. That shit excites me, right? Or let's say we want to do like one of the dishes we had on the menu at White Bowl was we did a burrata stuffed pasta, and then we did it with crab, and that was absolutely incredible, right? So I am definitely not against it. I think it deserves its place every once in a while wherever we want to put it, but I am not against it by any means. I would love to do octopus with you guys. The thing with octopus, guys, though, is that it takes a minute or it takes an hour. So if you want to spend an hour with me, because that's the best way I know how to cook it, I'll spend as much time with you as possible. White clam pie with pecorino romano. So the only problem with the white clam pie, guys, I don't have a pizza oven up here. All right? And in the middle of service, we can't do pizza, right? But Mr. Blake could easily cook that pizza for us if we wanted to. But I don't know if we're going to do that to Mr. Blake because right now we're really busy downstairs. I don't know if it's a good idea. But we could also one day get an uni oven and cook it outside if we wanted to. We could do this whole thing outside, which could be fun. But yeah. But I'll come up with some. Maybe squid for next week would be fun because we could definitely maybe a stuffed squid if you guys are down for stuffed squid. I love stuffed squid. And we're getting there again for Christmas Eve because Christmas Eve is my favorite holiday. So we're gonna do one actually that's gonna be like 7 fishes leading up to the thing where we'll do a live on fish every single week. But yeah, I mean we could definitely do some cool stuff. I mean, you guys tell me. You guys tell me what you guys want me to make, and I'll make it for you. Just don't pick stuff like chicken marsala. We already did that. Don't pick all that boring shit. Let's pick some fun stuff to do because I think that's what I'm really good at is more of the fun stuff. But again,
Brian said porchetta.
Brian Ferris, porchetta. Brian, we could do porchetta. Problem with that though, it's gonna take 3 hours, and I don't have 3 hours. I mean, I do. I have 3 hours. We could do it, or I can show you guys how to do it, and you could basically roast it yourself. It's very easy. I know, dude. I know Sally's just opened in Stanford. I know, but it's one of those things where it's not as good as the other one. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I could sit there and honestly say that I'm gonna go to Sally's in Stanford because I'll probably just drive the 40 minutes and go to Sally's in New Haven. Just because it is the original, I feel like I gotta be there. I'm very old school when it comes to shit like that. I gotta show love where it started. Same exact reason why I can't stand Pepe's anywhere else other than New Haven. But I'm also a modern guy. I love some modern pizza, so. But guys, I'm done. All right, I'm gonna finish my wine. I'm gonna clean up. If you guys have any questions, let me know. You could always DM me on Instagram or just shoot me a message. And if you guys have my cell phone, obviously just text me.
Colony pizza, yay or nay?
Colony pizza. So, I love Colony pizza. The only problem is I love it when I'm hungover. Only. I'm I'm not a colony pizza guy any other day of the week. Any other day of the week, I'm a Neapolitan pizza guy, but I'm a colony pizza guy when I'm hungover and I need grease. All right? But other than that, I'm not a colony pizza guy. I despise all New York style pizza in Atlanta. Let's just go out here and let me tell you the truth. Definitely not a Fellini's person by any means. But eventually, maybe, if you play your cards right, and I play my cards right, and Mr. Brian Ferris plays his cards right, the guy that said porchetta, maybe you may get our version of a New York style pizza eventually. Maybe that's something we're working on. Let's see what happens, all right? I only went with my Norwalk friends when drinking and hungover. Exactly, only when you're hungover, it's the best. Thank you always. Carm, I love you very much. We owe each other a cigar night, so let me know when you're ready. I'm always down, obviously. Not tonight, I got shit to do. But, you know, normally I'm always down. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. If you guys need anything at all, or I went too fast, let me know. All right?